vision, you can describe it. You have written it down. You have read 7 books that confirm it. You have made the plan. You have made the better plan that improves on the first plan. The vision is clear. The path is clear. You are not doing the work. Tomorrow, you will do the work. Or this weekend. Or next month, when the schedule clears. You are not lazy in any way you can define. You can name the thing you are not doing in 3 sentences and explain why it matters. You simply cannot get yourself to start. And on the days you do start, you do not get yourself to continue past the part where it becomes boring. This is not depression. This is not laziness in the cheap sense. It is the gap between ambition and execution. The samurai had 2 teachings for it, one for the starting, one for the not stopping. Together they are the complete answer. Before I show you both, take a moment to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Then, in the comments, name the one specific thing you have been planning to do for more than 3 months and have not done. Be precise, not the category, the action. The first paragraph of the book, the first cold call, the first session of the practice you keep telling yourself you will start. The first teaching is Kaizen. Kai means to correct. Zen means good. The compound is the small, repeated, deliberate correction of what is already in front of you. We have covered Kaizen in another video, so the short version. Kaizen is not addition. You do not add a new habit. You shrink the existing one until it is so small the resistance cannot bite into it. Open the document is a Kaizen action. Write the first sentence is a Kaizen action. Walk to the door is a Kaizen action. The action must be so small that your mind cannot construct a defense against it. This is the answer to the starting half. Kaizen is what gets you across the line from not doing to doing. The second teaching is older. It is called Gaman. Ga means the self. Man means to bear, to endure, to slow. Together, Gaman is the discipline of pressing through what is unbearable, with dignity, without complaint, and without telling anyone you are doing it. Western readers receive Gaman as stoic suffering or grit. It is neither. Stoic suffering frames the pain as ennobling. Gaman frames the pain as irrelevant. The work is the only point. The pain is just weather. Grit is the gritted teeth version, where you tell yourself how hard you are working. Gaman is the opposite. The man who is doing Gaman has stopped narrating his own difficulty entirely. He is just doing the next thing. Gaman is the answer to the second half. It is what carries you across the boring middle of the work, after the first Kaizen step has lost its novelty, before the work has begun to compound. This middle is where ambitious men quit. They quit not because the work is hard, but because the work is boring. The Gaman teaching names the boredom as the test. The boredom is not a sign you have chosen the wrong work. The boredom is the work, in the part of itself that does not feel rewarding yet. There is a story from the late 17th century, written down by a samurai named Daidoji Yuzan in a book called Budo Shoshinshu. He addressed the precise problem you have. The young samurai who has read all the texts, studied all the schools, talked to all the masters, and still cannot draw his sword cleanly in a real moment. Yuzan diagnosed him not as lazy, but as waiting. Waiting for the right inspiration. Waiting for the schedule to clear. Waiting for the grand action that would be worthy of the ambition. The grand action never came. Because the grand action only comes to those who have done 1,000 small, unglamorous ones first. There is another story from the Kendo dojos that has been told the same way for 400 years. A young apprentice named Tanaka came to a dojo in the year 1690, sent by his father to learn the sword. Tanaka was talented. He had read the texts. He arrived with 5 different stances he wanted to perfect. On the first day, the master gave him one task. Swing the bokken 10,000 times, not today, over the next year. Tanaka was insulted. He had not come to swing a wooden stick, he had come to fight. He swung the bokken 200 times the first morning, and went to the master to ask for the real training. The master did not answer. Tanaka swung 200 more that afternoon, more aggressively. Still nothing. By day 3, Tanaka could not feel his arms. He told the master he understood the lesson now and was ready to begin the real training. The master sent him back to swing more. Tanaka stayed because he had nowhere else to go. By swing 1000, the swing was painful but interesting. He was learning how his shoulder closed, how his grip changed, how his breath synchronized with the cut. By swing 3000, the swing was no longer interesting. It was simply something he was now doing every morning. By swing 5000, Tanaka had begun to hate it. By swing 6000, he was bored in a way he had not previously known a man could be bored. He went to the master a second time and asked for the real training. The master told him this is the real training. Tanaka did not believe him, but he kept swinging. From swing 6000 to swing 9000 was the band of the longest months of his life. The swing did not get easier, it did not get more interesting. It did not become beautiful. It simply became a thing he did, the way the sun rose. Some mornings he hated it. Some mornings he forgot he was doing it. Most mornings he did it without judgment at all. On the morning of swing 9,700 and something, he noticed that his cut had gone right through a thick branch on the side of the practice yard without his having intended to cut the branch. The branch had been in his peripheral vision for months. His body had simply taken the angle of the cut. He stopped, looked at the branch, and went to the master. The master said this is what Kaizen and Gaman do when they are practiced together. The Kaizen was the single swing. The Gaman was what carried you across the boredom of the 6,000th swing to the 9,000th. Without Kaizen, you would not have started. Without Gaman, you would have stopped. Together they are what makes a man dangerous. You are reading this, and you are recognizing it. You have started the Kaizen part many times. Open the document. Write the sentence. Run the first mile. Send the first message. The starting is something you can do. What you cannot do is the boring middle. The middle is exactly where you have quit every previous time. The middle is where ambitious men go to die. The Gaman discipline names the middle as the test. The boredom is not a sign that you have chosen the wrong work. The boredom is the test of whether you can do this work at all. Most men who are ambitious feel the boredom and treat it as data. They conclude the work is wrong. They abandon it for a new ambition that has not yet revealed its own boring middle. Then they do this again. Then they do it again. The pattern repeats forever. You will not repeat the pattern if you do two things. First, apply Kaizen ruthlessly to the starting. Make the first action so small you cannot construct a defense. Not write a chapter. Write a sentence. Not work out for an hour. Walk to the door of the gym. Not finish the project. Open the file. Second, when the work has become boring and the resistance has shifted from refusing to start to refusing to continue, recognize the moment exactly. Name it as Gaman. Then do the next swing, not the next perfect swing, not the next inspired swing, just the next one, and the one after that, and the one after that. The Gaman is the absence of inner complaint. Close the leak of the complaining inner voice. The work proceeds. Time passes. 5,000 swings become 9,000 swings. The cut goes through the branch on its own. If this video helped you see which half you are missing, leave one comment naming it honestly. Most viewers will write the Kaizen half. Because the Kaizen half is the easier confession. The harder confession is to write that you have started many times and quit in the boring middle. That is the Gaman half. The one you would rather not name. Real ambition is not the vision. Real ambition is the willingness to be bored. The man who can sit inside the boredom of the middle band has already won, because everyone else has quit before reaching the band where the work begins to compound. You do not need more motivation. You need Kaizen to start and Gaman to stay. The samurai called this the way a man becomes good at something. It is older than any modern productivity teaching. It has not been improved on in 400 years, and it works. Sit still. Cut clean. Walk on. See you in the next video.